Is CS2 dying? Well, let me respond to that question with another. Do you remember when CS2 pros, YouTubers, streamers, and even Pimp made videos about complaining and begging Valve to fix the cheater problem? This only happened around 3 years ago, and after 6 months of complaining, back in 2024, big content creators started to make videos where they would say they are quitting CS2. Not quitting YouTube, just quit playing CS2 like matchmaking and Premiere, which is pretty hard to do since that's their actual job. So this was back in 2024. So what happened in the last 2 years? Back in January 2025, Valve added VAC 3.0. This update will be remembered as the savior of CS2. And it's banning streamers.
Is it me? I'm banned!
What? Who was it?
Nice. Who was it?
Whoever was cheating is dog shit. Wait, what is this? I got it.
Yep. So that was pretty embarrassing. Right now, it's 2026, and what do you think has changed? They added more armor skins, some cases. Oh, and look, Falcon stickers cost 1,500 euros. That's triple the minimum wage in my country. Besides nothing, Valve is still yet to add something significant to combat the cheater problem, yet they make over $100 million per month from this game. But did your new player models can blink? That's pretty cool. There's no surprise that Counter-Strike has a cheater problem. It's the same as saying water is wet. Although back in CSGO, this wasn't such a big problem. I'm not saying CSGO was perfect, even though it was. I'm saying that back in the day, Valve used to take action. They added new types of cheat protectors, such as Overwatch, which allowed a group of selected players to watch very sus demos flagged as potential cheaters and vote on whether the player was cheating. If enough players would vote guilty, the cheaters would be permanently banned in a couple of days. This system wasn't perfect, and later Gabe Newell even made a post on Reddit to explain how the Valve anti-cheat system operated, and they made improvements over the years. Valve also came up with the idea that they would separate the cheaters and the non-cheaters through the Prime status. Prime status requirements were to get rank 21 and link a phone number, so with that the accounts were categorized as Prime or non-Prime. Thus, Prime players were matched with other Prime players, and this improved the matchmaking experience by a lot. Do you see this loyalty badge medal that I have? Well, back in my day, this meant you had Prime status because you bought CSGO, and back in 2017, Valve also introduced Trust Factor, which is as the name said, it gave your account a trust level, and I gotta admit, this wasn't fun for the new players since their trust factor wasn't established, so they would often play in cheater lobbies. But after 10 or 20 games, the trust level would begin to rise, since no one would report them or they would have no suspicious gameplay. Nowadays, you can play even 1000 clean games where you average negative KD, you will still play in cheater lobbies. And this is a big question that I have. Is trust factor even a real thing anymore? Because I don't think it is. And if you tell me in the comments, well, I play in 5k rating Premiere and never met a cheater. Bro, of course you never met a cheater when you're playing in 5k rating. This is a problem that over 20 or 25k rating players face every day. Watch this video of a CS2 streamer that frankly is a really good player, where someone in his chat tells him that if you buy items from the Steam market, your trust factor will become green. And guess what? He tried, and in the next couple of games, there were no cheaters. And if you don't believe me, try it yourself. But please just believe me, cause I don't want to give Valve any more money. All this short history related to cheating that I just mentioned is to show you that once upon a time, Valve did care about this problem. And I don't know too much about the current anti-cheat system in CS2, but it's obviously not working. From what I understood, Valve is collecting so much data from all these cheaters, however, you can clearly see that nothing is happening, which is very unfortunate because the casual player should not experience this. They should be able to load up a game and play Premiere without worrying about the cheaters. They shouldn't need to use a third-party program like Faceit to play a game, and most of the casual players don't even know about Faceit, so the whole CS2 experience is ruined from the Premiere experience. As a business perspective, I don't even understand what are they doing. Yeah, right now you are getting over $1 billion a year, but how long will this last? Since your game will not have any more new players, CSGO veterans are slowly leaving your game because they compare it with what it was, and CS2 right now is worse than CSGO in any aspect except pretty looking water. And if they think CS2 esports scene will carry the whole game, well, that's wrong also. You see, the way they added this new dynamic pricing to their CS2 major stickers, it only helps the big organizations and not the smaller ones, because the prices are going up for the teams that are wanted the most, so they get more money, since it's a 50% split, and lesser teams get way less money when you compare it with the old capture system. So a lot of tier 2 teams will now disband, and the orgs will leave CS2 for good. Because now even if you manage to qualify for a major, you will not make a lot of profit, and the risk of not making it is way bigger than the reward of making it. With this new information in mind, do you really think this is a growing game? And if you say something like, well, actually, CS2 has 1.5 million players and it's the most popular game on Steam, please just watch my previous video so you can understand that at least 10% of the player base are not even real humans, and if you were to add cheaters to it, it's probably going up to 20% or even more. Have you ever wondered why do people start cheating? Most players start when they are facing cheaters, so they lose over and over again until they get tired of losing, so they install cheats. I have a pretty interesting story of a friend that I used to know. Let's call him 1Pixel. 1Pixel started playing the game when he was 12 years old. He fell in love with the game, and he was improving every day that he was playing, until he started facing cheaters. He hated cheaters. Even if he knew every vertigo pre-fire, he stood no chance against that trigger bot. When he saw he couldn't beat them, he joined them. For 3 years straight, he cheated, sometimes even blatant. But one day, 1Pixel clicked on a Twitch channel called EGL, and he saw his first CSGO major. Everything changed that day. He started to love the game once again, stopped using cheats, and started to grind and become a professional player. Nowadays, 1Pixel is a top 1000 player on EU, and an organization pays him a decent salary just for playing his favorite video game. Now, obviously, I changed his name for the comical effect, but this is a real person that I know, and he's succeeding to making a living from this game. But imagine if he wouldn't have encountered cheaters, or at least not that many, and if he wouldn't have wasted 3 years of his life cheating himself. He could have been an even better player, maybe playing in the big leagues. This might be a crazy take, but I don't even hate cheaters that much. Now hear me out, I'm not saying cheating is good, it's a bad thing, you shouldn't do it. But if you think deeper, most of them started very young, when they were kids or teenagers. And I'm not gonna blame a random 10-year-old kid, because he doesn't know any better. What I am gonna blame though, it's the billion-dollar company that just sits around doing nothing. So since you're probably getting bored from all of this complaining, I wanted to add some easy solutions that could improve significantly this cheating problem. First one probably being the easiest one to implement, which is to bring trust factor back. And I know that trust factor is still a thing, but before CS2 I remember playing in mostly clean lobbies. Even though cheaters existed in CSGO, I wouldn't play versus them because I was not a cheater. Now if you have a couple of $100, you can just pay for green trust factor, which is basically just bribery at this point. A second easy solution would be Overwatch. This would go hand in hand with the trust factor system, where trusted players will get to watch demos of any suspicious gameplay and decide if the players are cheating or not. And I didn't forget about the elephant in the room, a working anti-cheat. The easiest way would be if Valve just partnered with Faceit and got their intrusive anti-cheat, which has a kernel mode driver. That means it's deeply integrated in your computer files, so it's easier to detect cheats such as aimbot or wallhack by watching how you play in real time. I know that people are very scared and hesitant when it comes to this anti-cheat, and I bet if you would ask them if they cared about their privacy, they would say yes, of course they care about their privacy. Who doesn't? But I ask you this, viewer, did you ever play Valorant or League of Legends? Yeah, well, these games also have an intrusive anti-cheat, and I'll tell you what, the number of players Valorant lost by having this kind of anti-cheat is minuscule compared to the number they gained from having it. The conclusion of this entire video is that Valve will never improve their game if they have nothing to gain from it. A simple solution is to stop buying skins and cases, so the revenue drops, and then maybe, a big maybe, they will do something about it. This looks unlikely though, and my hope for this game has died a long time ago.